Let me ask you something. Do you think your skeleton is just, well, a clothes hanger for your body? Just a passive, bony rack that you hang all your muscles on?
If you do, I am here to tell you to think again. Your skeleton is an active, dynamic, and honestly, an incredibly responsive system. It is not just a frame, it is your ultimate power-up, and it's constantly adapting to every single thing you do.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to Subject Simplified. Today, we are diving deep into your skeleton's role in sport. And trust me, understanding this stuff is what separates the good athletes from the truly great ones.
Now, I know why a lot of you are here. You're probably staring down the barrel of that BTech Level 3 sport exam, flipping through endless pages on anatomy and physiology. So let's just cut through all the noise and make this information actually stick, so you can walk into that exam and absolutely ace it. All right, here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at what happens to your bones the moment you start exercising. Then, we'll get into how you build a stronger frame for the long haul. And finally, we'll talk about protecting that skeleton for life. Sound good? Let's jump in.
Part 1. Bones on game day. So, have you ever really stopped to think about what's happening inside your bones from the very first jump squat or that first sprint? It is way more intense than you probably imagine.
The second, and I mean the second, you start a weight-bearing exercise, this awesome three-step chain reaction kicks off. First, that impact sends a literal jolt through your bones. That jolt is a signal, like a wake-up call for your bone-building cells, the osteoblasts. And in response, those cells immediately start ramping up their mineral uptake, pulling in calcium to reinforce the whole structure.
So what exactly is weight-bearing exercise? It's super simple, really. It's any activity where you're on your feet and your bones and muscles have to work against gravity. You can basically think of that impact as the dinner bell for your bone cells. It tells them, hey, it's time to get to work and build. Just think about it. Imagine the force hammering through a basketball player's legs when they land from a dunk, or a gymnast sticking a perfect landing after a tumbling pass, or the insane compressive force on your spine and your femurs during a heavy squat. That is the exact stress that signals to your skeleton, hey, we got to get stronger now.
Okay, let's move on to part 2 and see how all this builds up over time. Because the real magic, the long-term changes that make you a beast, they don't happen during the workout itself. Nope, they happen when you rest.
So what's the big payoff here? Well, consistent training leads to some pretty incredible changes. Before, you've got a standard skeleton, but with regular, hard training, you get increased bone density, which makes your bones way harder to break, and stronger, thicker ligaments, which means more stable joints. You are literally building a more resilient version of yourself from the inside out.
So let's meet the heroes of this whole renovation project. First up, you've got the osteoblasts. I want you to think of these guys as your bone's personal construction crew. Their entire job is to show up and lay down new, dense bone material, making the whole structure tougher and way more robust.
But of course, you can't build something new without clearing out the old site first, right? That's where the osteoclasts come in. They are the demolition crew. Their job is to break down and clear out any old or weak bone tissue to make way for all the new, stronger stuff.
And I love this quote because it just nails it. The stress from your workout is what calls in the demolition crew, the osteoclasts, to clear out any weak spots. But it's on your rest days that the construction crew, the osteoblasts, get to work rebuilding everything bigger and stronger than it was before. That's right, rest days are literally when you level up.
All right, let's hit our final section, protecting your skeleton for life. See, building a strong skeleton isn't just about your performance right now. It's about setting up a powerful defense against disease and the effects of aging later on down the line. Two of the biggest challenges your skeleton might face are arthritis and osteoporosis. Now, with arthritis, exercise is huge because it strengthens the muscles around the joint, which takes a ton of pressure off it. And for osteoporosis, where bones can get brittle, weight-bearing exercise is your #1 weapon, directly boosting that critical bone density we've been talking about.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's that what you're doing in the gym today is your best defensive strategy for your health tomorrow. Every single squat, every run, every jump, it's like putting money in your bone bank for the future.
Now, this brings up a really important question about age. We know weight training is amazing for adults, but what about younger athletes? Is it possible to go too hard too soon?
And the answer is yes. The major concern is the potential for damaging the epiphyseal plates. These are basically the soft areas at the ends of bones in kids and teenagers that allow them to grow taller. Too much load, or more importantly, improper form, can damage these growth plates and potentially stunt growth. This is why proper coaching and technique are absolutely non-negotiable for young athletes.
All right, let's do a rapid-fire recap for your revision notes. Ready? Number 1. Exercise is an instant signal for your bones to absorb more minerals. 2. Over time, this makes your bones and ligaments fundamentally stronger. 3. Remember the cruise: osteoblasts build, osteoclasts clear. 4. This whole process is your defense against future diseases. And 5. Age is a huge factor. You have to protect the growth plates in young athletes.
So I'll leave you with this. Your skeleton is not a static object. It's a living, breathing, adapting structure that you are actively building with every single workout and every single rest day. Now that you know that, how are you going to approach your training tomorrow?
Hey, if this explainer helps simplify your studies for that B-Tech exam, do us a massive favor and hit that like button and subscribe to Subjects Simplified. We have a ton more content coming to help you crush your course. Thanks so much for watching, and good luck on that exam.